Hey everybody, it's the Pearlo Wisdom Show, the NHL Pearlo Wisdom Show. Hey Lauren, how you doing, buddy? Welcome into the live stream, and where we're going to talk about how the Montreal Canadiens are insane. Just throw all logic out the window. The Montreal Canadiens are playing like a team, just pure like a team. They're crushing it. It doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense as far as on paper is concerned, but hockey isn't played on paper, right? They are doing amazing things. What happened to Vegas? Like, seriously, what happened to Vegas? Yeah. What happened to Vegas, man? They look like the Vegas looks like looked like they were scared or something. I've never seen Vegas play like that before. I'm not. They look scared. They actually look scared. It was. I can't say it any other way. They looked scared last night. It was really strange. They were nervous? Really? Nervous now? Now you're nervous? Totally making plays that were like the best defensive team in the league looked like the worst defensive team in the league last night. Absolutely surprising, to say the least. I was blown away. Let me get you up here on my phone. There we go. Vegas looked like the Flyers. Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. Joey Serrano, they did look like the Flyers last night. We'll just get right into that game. What did we have for? Did anybody have 4-1 Montreal? I doubt it. I doubt it. H&R had Vegas 4-1. Serrano had the Canadiens 4-2. Holy crap, you were close, dude. Serrano was very, very close. Must be something in that Puerto Rican water out there. Mercer had the Habs 3-2. Bill T had the Habs 3-2. I, of course, had Vegas for 3-0. Weichel had Vegas 4-3. And K-Swish had Vegas 3-1. We were all wrong. If they lose this series, do they fall going forward next year? What do you mean by that? By fall going forward next year? Who picked the goal scorer? Well, who was the first goal scorer of that game? Wasn't it? It was Kokoniemi. Nobody took Kokoniemi. But Caulfield with Suzuki with the 3-point game. Caulfield humming it again. Perry 6 assists already this year. This team is getting it from everywhere. This team is getting points from everybody, everywhere. Oh, they just can't get it together. I think the one thing that they're going to do next year is they're going to reshuffle their lineup for cap space. Like Martinez is gone and stuff, and they're going to try to get themselves a center. I think that's one thing that they need to do. But besides that, they just got to keep on rolling. It's not over yet either. I mean, Vegas has got a lot of character in that room too. None of their main guys have scored, and that's so surprising. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they don't really have a number one center. It was my biggest question mark for Vegas going in, is especially once Chandler Stevenson went down. Now, I don't know how injured he was last night, but he looked pretty invisible to me. Stone looked frustrated as heck. You don't want to see that from your captain, looking that frustrated like that. It was just a really poor energy game altogether there. I don't know. Now they got to fly. Wait, that was game 5, right? Now they got to fly all the way back to Montreal. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Now they got to go all the way back to Montreal and play Montreal at home. And I hear is there going to be a full building there? Anybody know? Tough. They're behind the 8 ball now. I mean, but this is what champions are made of. So they're going to have to come back with a full, a new plan, and they're not getting away with what they got away with Colorado there. And color me disappointed, because I really love Vegas. But if Montreal does win this series, Evan usually doesn't come on until Wednesday. He should be on Wednesday. But thanks for asking, JP. We'll see. He hasn't mentioned anything this week. But Peyton will be on Thursday and Friday. So, and we'll be doing more interactive. I'm going to let Peyton talk, and then I'm going to message you guys in the chat, and we're going to do more interactive stuff. Today is Wednesday? Oh, you know what? He never messaged me or nothing. I thought today was Tuesday. Wow, I am all screwed up. He didn't even message me or nothing. Yeah, I'm going to tell him I forgot it was Wednesday. Oh, well. He didn't get a hold of me anyways. Hey, Mercer. How you doing, buddy? I'm sure he's going to be on lots. Maybe he'll come on tomorrow with Peyton. We'll have 3 people on at one time. That would be cool. Mercer in the house. Mercer, you almost nailed the score. And you took the Habs yesterday, you bugger. Good for you. But I don't know. I wouldn't be closing the door on Vegas anytime soon. They've bailed themselves out of these kind of things before. Yeah, I almost spilled that, Lauren Darkin. They bailed themselves out of these things before. They could do it again. But this Montreal team looks so confident. That's really what it comes down to with this team, is that they just look crazy confident. If you look at Price, like, he doesn't get he doesn't get up too high. He never gets low. He's always looking like in one plane. Even when back when Winnipeg, when Evans got knocked out, I can't believe it's Wednesday. I thought for sure all day I thought it was Tuesday. What the heck? That is so weird. Anyways, even when Evans got knocked out and he did you notice he's doing almost all the press stuff? Price is doing almost all of it. And he comes on, and when Evans got knocked out, they asked him, and he goes, oh, we're going to take care of the kid. We're going to make sure, he's the biggest concern, and all of that stuff like that. But he didn't say, oh, I thought it was a dirty hit, or, he didn't give any fuel to that fire. He just kept it even. Whatever, there was a hit. The point is, we're going to play the next game. We are focused on winning a Stanley Cup. We want Evans to be okay, and we'll do that after the game or whatever. And then it's back on the road, because people get injured in this, and we have to adjust and move on and keep moving forward. he didn't say those words, but he lived those words. Like, he acts like his focus, there's no taking the focus off what Corey Perry and the Montreal Canadiens are wanting to do. And Corey Perry is the leader on that. He's playing like he's the best goaltender in the league right now. That's for sure. If he can do that in a regular season, but it doesn't matter right now. The fact is he's doing it in these playoffs, and pretty hard to beat. You have one bad game, which Vegas did last night. I mean, you're not going to win and have a bad game against Price. You know, if you don't have your best game out there, you're probably not going to win. And Vegas didn't have their best game. I didn't know that Craig Button said, Lauren, I didn't know that Craig Button said that about Askarov, but I was all over Askarov as well. I thought Ottawa should have picked him at number 3 over Sanderson. So we'll see if I was right about that. Detroit, I thought, anybody. And when Nashville got them, I thought to myself, Poyle probably just saved his job right there. Poyle probably just saved his job. The only thing is he's got to do a couple of years in the KHL. He signed a KHL contract to make some money for his family, and then he's coming over. But this Vegas team, I mean, you got to look. They've got Riley Smith. He's no spring chicken. He had 6 shots last night, probably one of the best guys on the ice. They have Stone. They have Pacioretty. They have Alex Tuch, Marchessault, Peter Angelo, Martinez. Like, they have a lot of experienced players here. And then, of course, Marc-Andre Fleury, who will bounce back, I'm sure. But I wonder, do they go back to Lehner now? Yeah, we didn't have an 8-0 game. And we'll get into the game for tonight as well, right after this. But I'm floored by what Montreal is doing. Yeah, they don't have center line depth at all. And that we knew that going into the regular season. I really thought that Vegas was going to do something about that at the trade deadline or something, but they went and got Janmark instead. And Janmark is just not a good center. I mean, he can play center, but I mean, anybody can do anything, but he's just not very good at it. He's not a very good center. I think everybody has to be blown away. You know, you go onto the Habs websites and they say, like, you know, people didn't know how good we are. No, you didn't know how good you are. Montreal didn't give us a reason to think we should know how good they are. They weren't that great in the regular season. But we maybe should have looked at the possibility that you have Shea Weber and Corey Perry, 2 of the best leaders in the game, that when playoff time starts, they're going to be a lot better than you think. Yeah, is this going to be the first time, if they win the Cup, is this the first time the lowest seed wins the Cup? Or did Carolina do that? I know Carolina and Edmonton were pretty close when that one happened. I don't know if this is going to, anybody heard if this is the first time that's ever happened? People are frantically looking it up right now. Were they last in the league, though, or were they last in their division? Let's look up LA Kings standings 2014. We might as well. Okay, they had... Oh, they were pretty bad. They had 46 points. No, the Coyote... What the heck? Eastern Conference. That's not right. Yeah, I don't know if this draft is all that bad, though. I mean, it is a weaker... It's hard to say. It says it's weak, but there's so many guys that didn't get an opportunity this year to show it, how much they've improved. So it's going to be an interesting draft. Okay, 2014 NHL final standings. Okay, let's look it up. (2014). Why are they showing me that? Oh, okay. Yeah. No, they weren't last. Eastern Conference. Okay, let me see playoffs then. No, they weren't last. Anaheim Ducks played the Dallas Stars. What's WC1? Western Conference 1? Yes. Well, maybe they were. I'm having a hard time figuring this out. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it wasn't considered weak before, but now that nobody knows who is going to be... that was a new format in 2014. Why don't I just look up? This is bugging me now. Everybody's leaving and I'm still talking about this. I want to find out. Okay, 2014 National began. What seed were the Kings in 2014? Okay, here we go. Well, how come you didn't answer the question? No, they didn't. They weren't the worst team. Montreal would be the lowest seed, the bottom seed, to win the... And I think I'm pretty sure they would be the ones to win, to the first one to win the Stanley Cup as the bottom seed. Pretty cray. Yeah, the thing is about that, I mean, it's a Canadian team, but you know, honestly, most of the people in Canada are like, did it have to be Montreal, really? Because now you're just going to hear it from Montreal Canadiens fans. because everybody, Montreal Canadiens fans are always saying, we are the best organization, we've won the most cups, blah, 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 blah. But they did it a long time ago for one. They had a lot of advantages. And now if they win another one, you're never going to hear the end of it. Oh, my gosh. But on the same note, I'm rooting for them. It's not necessarily because they're a Canadian team that I'm rooting for them, though. I don't really look at it that way. I just like teams. I just like certain teams, and I like what they've done. Yeah, Ottawa, Vancouver, and Winnipeg are the 4 Canadian teams that have never won it. Out of those, okay, out of Ottawa, Vancouver, and Winnipeg, who do you think is going to win a cup first? Yeah, well, yeah, the Leafs fans for sure. Leafs fans for sure despise the Caps. You think Vancouver is going to be first? I think Ottawa. I think Ottawa will be the first to win the cup. Well, actually, yeah, I don't know. If Winnipeg gets defense, maybe. It's really close. Any of them could. Yeah, they got Peterson, Horvat. I'm just not really big on how they made up their defense there in Ottawa or in Vancouver. But Demko, yeah, Demko is so good. He's going to be amazing next year. Winnipeg makes sense to me, especially if they go out and pick up some defense. That team has pretty stacked if they go get some defense. I think if they don't win it in the next 2 years, though, they could be in trouble because they're getting pretty old after that. Wheeler's getting old. Even Scheifele's, getting on the old side. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Thanks for coming in, buddy. Woo! Everybody hype in the chat for Jeff. Right now, we can hype in the chat for everybody that comes in. Soon to have Pel. That's a good point, Lauren. They are soon to have Pelkos, and we'll see how he's going to turn out to be. But I think of Winnipeg the next couple of years. Now, Ottawa, once Stützle matures, and I mean, he was already pretty good last year. They are getting pretty ripe and ready there in Ottawa to already do some damage. Let's check out Ottawa. Like they're looking pretty stacked. Plus, they've got the first this year. They've got their first this year that is like number 10, I think. They're good at drafting. They got Tim Stützle, Shane Pinto looking really good, Joshua Norris, Drake Batherson. I mean, these guys are like not super, super young. Batherson's 23. Pinto's a little young. Joshua Norris is 22. He's ripe and ready. I don't know if he's a number 1 center, but the fact of the matter is they were one of the better teams in the league in the second half last year. And, I mean, Brady Tkachuk is a beast. Brady Tkachuk is the kind of guy you're looking for to win a cup. I still think they need some work on their defense, but we'll see what Bernard Docker does next year. Eric Brandstrom. They could use some beef on their defense for sure. They need to get stronger on their defense. And then goaltending, a little iffy. Matt Murray, that would be, I think, the biggest problem. Where are you guys? I got to get you back up here. It is young, but I mean, it's getting to that point where they can be a regular in the NHL. And if they have a strong year next year, I imagine Ottawa's going to be adding. I wouldn't even doubt if they're adding this year after their strong second half. I wouldn't even doubt if Ottawa's adding after this year. So, yeah, if Winnipeg doesn't win in the next couple of years, but then Lauren's right. I mean, Pettersson is probably not going to have another bad year next year. Horvat is great. Besser is a beast. Offensively, and then, of course, you've got Quinn Hughes there. They still need help on defense, though. I'm not a big fan of Myers. I think that was a bad contract. Myself, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I think Myers was very overrated when they signed him, and he's still overrated now. Not a guy, they play him a lot of minutes too, and I really don't know why. He doesn't really produce points. He's not that great defensively. He can skate the puck out of the zone really well. Nils Hoagland, I think forwards are doing pretty good. But I hear they're wanting to walk away from Nate Schmidt already after picking him up last year. Yeah, it was a rough. I was talking about this. By the way, I just did a show with Yarif. We talked about the Philadelphia Flyers and what they might do. Flyers Nitty Gritty, if you want to check it out. It's getting a lot of views. I guess people really liked it. Myers, Nate Schmidt, they already want to walk away from him, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get somebody to take that contract. He's making almost $6 million a year. After grabbing him from Vegas, and now all of a sudden you're wanting to walk away from him, makes people wonder what's wrong with the guy. First of all, he's not the greatest defensively. And he's not super offensively, but I think if he was in the right system and the right team, he could be effective. It's just $6 million a year, and he's already 29 years old. So I am not I don't know. I don't mind Green. I just think he doesn't have much to work with on defense there. They got to do something about their defense, and they don't have any money to do anything about their defense. That's really what the problem is. They don't really have much money. They're right up to the cap because of terrible contracts, like the one we've mentioned over and over and over again. What is he? Non-roster, probably. Louis Eriksson. This is the last year of Louis Eriksson, so they might be able to buy out Louis Eriksson this year and get a little bit of. They do have Jet Wu coming up. How did he do last year? I think he played in the minors, didn't he? Yeah, he played in the AHL. He only got 5 points in 28 games in the AHL. And I believe he was supposed to be an offensive defenseman. Yeah, he regressed from the time that they drafted him. So it's possible he never plays. I mean, he is still a ways to go yet. He's only 20 years old, but. Isn't this funny? We're all I was just talking about how I think they're going to keep Fleury and let Lehner go. And now we're like, maybe not. Things can change so fast, right? Yeah, Ekman Larson wants to go to Vancouver, but they can't afford him then. Like, let's look at a deal like for Larson. They would have to take Nate Schmidt back. Maybe that's it. They'd have to take Nate Schmidt back. And then, because they don't care about winning all that much, then their first round draft pick this year, I would think, which is a high draft pick, and then maybe Zach McEwen or something like that. Maybe. He didn't look great. Nobody looked great yesterday for Vegas. The only guy that looked good was Riley Smith, which is funny because before the whole team was looking good and Riley Smith didn't look good. Last night, Riley Smith looked good and the whole team looked like garbage. Well, they definitely got to get more than Schmidt. They got to get there. In that deal, I think, especially if they're going to give up Schmidt, it's actually not really, Schmidt isn't really a plus. He's more of negative value. So, I mean, I'm going to be asking for their first this year, which they need. Arizona needs the first. And it's a pretty high first. So that would help. And maybe like try out Oliu Levy. See if he can turn out okay still. Oliu Levy. What about their prospects? And then, like, they're not going to give away Paul Kozin. I think it would have to be Zach McEwen, who I like. Zach McEwen the first, Levy, and Schmidt to make the money work. Something like that. I don't know if you're going to get much more than that for Larson because they don't have all that much leverage because he has to okay the trade. So I don't know if another team's going to give more. And if Vancouver's in on it, he's going to want to take Vancouver. So it sounds like Ekman Larson's a little more motivated to get out of Arizona this year, though. Like, he sees that his career there is not going anywhere. So it sounds like he's a little more motivated to get out of Vancouver or get out of Arizona. We were talking about it again. We were talking about maybe wow, really? You're that big on Paul Kozin? I don't know. I'm a little concerned about his offensive potential. I'm a little concerned about Podkolzin's. Oh, we'll see what let's see what Vasily did last year. I know he's a heart and soul guy. I know that. You know, like but he's also had a lot of problems on his team. He's pissed off his own teammates before. He had 11 points in 35 games in the KHL. It's okay for his age. How old is he? Is he 20 now? He's 19. Yeah. They played him a lot in the KHL for a 19-year-old. They don't like to play them a lot. No, I don't. Wow, they're not done, but I wouldn't count out Vegas yet. That's for sure. Yeah, Schmidt, McEwen, and a first. You would think that would already be on the table, but I think Vancouver doesn't want to give up their first this year. What is their first this year? It's got to be, what's their first this year? Okay, what's the June rankings? I just saw that. Oh my gosh. On what's this 2021 June draft? SB Nation. Is that Sabres Nation? Anyways, the rankings that I got here say that William Eklund is the number one. And I wouldn't doubt that, actually. I'd strongly consider now. But where's Owen Power? Number 7? I'm looking at this draft and they have Owen Power at number 7. Anyways. This is very interesting. This is just out. There's a lot of surprises here. Mason McTavish at 16. Okay, you don't know what you're talking about. Mason McTavish is going to go way higher than 16. Okay, I'm going to look up NHL My Draft. Yeah, still has Power. When was it updated? Oh, June 2nd. So Vancouver picks. Did Vancouver... ninth. Vancouver picks 9th. So you would get the 9th. So if... Arizona would get the 9th pick in the draft, which I think could be Kent Johnson, the center out of college there. They definitely would want to take a center for sure. In best in class when it comes to creativity and elusiveness, Sam Cosentino says. He's a shifty, electrifying center who thinks the game at a high level. One of the most consistent players on the ice, showing off his flashy hands and playmaking abilities. He had 27 points in 26 games at the University of Michigan this year. That's pretty impressive. Oh. John Tavares, Evander Kane. That would be a bad thing to do. Yeah, there's a lot of things about Power, though. I'm not so sure. I think he's got to go back to college. I think he's going to need a little time. But maybe not. I mean, this year's really tough. It's really tough to say. Tampa Bay versus the Habs for the Cup this year. It looks that way. It looks that way. Like I said, I wouldn't count out Vegas, though. I wouldn't count out Vegas yet. Of course, I'm a fan of Vegas, so it's easy for me to say that. Anyways, what are we at here? Oh my gosh, we got to talk. We've been talking already this long about this. My gosh, I can't believe how time has flew. You're hoping the Canucks will move to Hawaii next season? Oh my gosh, I think you're going to have to hope a long time. Do you think a team could support they could support a team in Hawaii? That would be interesting. The problem is the travel would be insane. How long of a travel would it be from Toronto to Hawaii? That would be a long distance, would it not? It wouldn't be a lot of travel. I have to admit, I have not checked where Hawaii, like how long it would be. Hockey News Reports is in the house. Oh, they wouldn't be able to support a team. Okay. San Jose to Montreal. How far is San Jose to Hawaii? San Jose to Hawaii. It's 5 hours to Hawaii from San Jose. So that's a long flight. Holy crap. That alone is a long flight. So like it would be like way too long to go from Toronto to Hawaii. Oh my gosh. Toronto to Hawaii flight time. 12 hours. It would take 12 hours to fly to Hawaii. Yeah, that's not happening. I don't think that's happening. Anyways, let's get into the game tonight, shall we? We got about 15 minutes or so. We'll get to our picks. We will get to our picks for tonight. We're going to say, I imagine they're going to go back to Varlamov. You got to go with your veteran, right? Lightning playing in the island. Game 6. Islanders must win. Islanders must win. Lightning versus Islanders. Is anybody taking the Islanders tonight? Lauren's saying the Islanders. Lauren says Islanders. He doesn't give us a score, though, because he doesn't do that sort of thing. Bill T says 6. How do I do this? 6-3 Isles. That's a big win. Drag it a little closer, yeah. Isles. Hockey News reports 2-0 Isles. Wow. Hot take, yes. You think Varlamov comes back and crushes it with the shutout tonight, man. After having a bad game, they can't get nothing past him. Serrano says they'll wrap it up tonight. Mercer says 4-2 Lightning. Serrano 5-2 Lightning. Yeah, I got you. Tampa Bay 6-3. Everybody going. A couple Islanders guys out there. They got so many weapons, the Lightning do for sure. I'll keep the Isles alive. I want the Isles to win, no doubt about that. I am definitely rooting for the Islanders tonight. But I am not confident. I'm not confident. I'm so not confident that I'm taking Tampa Bay 3-2. I'm taking Tampa Bay 3-2. Who scores the first goal now, guys? First goal of the game. Who scores the first goal tonight? I'll do what I can. I don't know what I'm going to do. Just do a little Pearlo dance. Pearlo dance for the Islanders. Okay, there we go. Bobby Hall. Oh, Bobby Hall's going to score the first goal. Hockey News Report says Pellich. Wow. I don't know. Has he scored a goal yet this playoffs? Mercer says Sergachev. I'm going to try to take a a player that is actually playing in the game today. Bill T's going back to Stammer. Bill T's taking Stamkos. Aren't you guys going to take point all day again? Somebody's got to take point. He's got to continue that streak. He got 3 goals? Oh, wow. I didn't even know that. Lauren is taking Pajot. Lauren doesn't do scores, but he will do the first goal scored. Oh my gosh, you're asking me how many goals does Stamkos have this year? Oh, wow, okay. Would that be on cap friendly? I haven't been actually paying attention to the I haven't been paying attention to who has the points and who doesn't this year. And I'm not sure why. Oh, this series, I don't know. Does anybody know that? How many goals Stamkos has this year? Serrano has got Stamkos as well. Pearlo is going to take Palat. I'm going to take Palat. Palat's got to start potting a couple here. I'm going to go with Palat as the first goal of the game. You don't know either. He is on a roll, yeah. Now I'm taking Palat. Time for them to start getting scoring from elsewhere. And, oh, did I? Yeah, I said 3-2 Lightning for the game. 7 in the postseason, but we're not sure how much for this series. The least likely would have to be, because especially since he already potted one, I'd say Shen. And for the Islanders, Green probably. Besides one of the goaltenders, of course. I would say Shen and Green. Komarov, maybe. Jeff Saint takes Hedman. That's a good one. Never can go. Hedman is always a good pick for just about anything when you're talking about hockey, I would say. Varlamov will stop 35 shots tonight. Okay. Islanders are going to come out mean and take an early penalty. Wow, you guys got this game figured out. I don't even have to watch it. If you were to take an Islander, maybe Palmieri will score. I don't know, but this is going to be one interesting game. After getting usually in the regular season, when a team gets blown out, you always take them to win the next game because they're going to have their game face on for sure. Like the Islanders are going to be extremely focused in this game. I can't see another blowout. Yeah, I think John doesn't like to be wrong or doesn't like people to judge him for being wrong or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Does he not like other people predicting on the chat too, or what? Or does he just not like doing predictions himself? Because he just likes to enjoy the game, I think. He just likes to watch it and see what happens and stuff like that. John's not a big prediction guy. He used to put a couple bucks on it every once in a while, but I don't even think he does that anymore. By the way, tomorrow night, for the Game 6, I'll be on with John from Off the Wall Hockey tomorrow night. I usually get on with him on Thursday nights. No, I haven't noticed that, Jay, and thanks for coming in, Jay. Whenever he asks, he doesn't predict and says, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I know. John Paul lost his mind when I think it was this, I didn't see the last game, but the second to last game, I saw it when he threw off his sweater and that was amazing. By the way, I didn't get hardly any views on that one that we did for free agency. So Hockey News Reports, we're going to do your thing after the break. We're going to do who's the breakout player for every team, because I think more people will watch that. So we're going to try that after the break. Who's going to be the breakout player for every team? Now, we're not going to get to every team, but we're going to give it a shot. Yeah, when John goes off, man, when he gets angry, it's pretty funny. Have you ever saw Peyton when he gets angry, man? Wow. When Peyton gets angry, man, things are... When Peyton gets angry at the Oilers, man, holy crap. I don't know. I think he might even be more... He might even be funnier than... if you don't have it, get Peyton on the radio. Look him up. He's not doing live streams right now because he's in northern Vancouver. But when he gets back into, I can't remember where it was, where he has better reception, you're going to want to watch his live streams. They are freaking off the chain. It's a little harder to do the short ones, though. You have a short attention span. Maybe I'll try to, it takes time to do all those. That's the problem, Jeff Saint, and I don't really have the time. But I'm going to try to keep it to, I'll probably try to do a half an hour one here again. And then I send it to certain people and then they get pretty good views. But I was already doing a series on the free agents, so it didn't make sense. And I better change the title while I'm talking to you guys about that too. Try a supermodel. But look at, I'm right on the cover. Who wouldn't want to come see this? No, it's all right. I get okay. I'm getting okay views now. It's all right. And look at all the people. We got 9 people in the chat here, by the way. Hello, 10 likes. Woo! And you guys are in here every day. You guys are awesome. So, especially with the wig. I threw the wig out already. Yeah. I threw the wig out. I might go a little longer on the break. Look at how many people I got in here. Anyways, after the break, what we're going to do, as soon as I changed the title, everybody came in here. So if you're in here now because of the title, what we're going to do is we're going to look at who is going to be the breakout player from every team. We probably won't get it all done today. But after the break, I'm going to do an intro. Austin Rogers into his head. How you doing, Austin? Do you want to put your pick in and who's going to score real quick? The Scarecrow from Batman. I have to look that up. Hype in the chat for Jeff Rogers. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Stick around till after the break, Jeff, because we're gonna be talking about. I'm gonna write it all down. Everybody say who's gonna be the breakout player for every team next year. What's the breakout player from every team? We're going to start with the teams with the most cap space and go from there. It's going to be a little tough, though, because some of them may be going on other teams. The Dark Knight. Okay. Kucherov. Austin Rogers has Kucherov. What's the score? You want to put in a score for that before we go to break? We got 2 minutes, but we're going to talk about each team. We're going to start off with, I think we'll start off with our lower ones and we'll work our way up. Now, some of these guys are going to be traded and all that stuff like that. So this is going to be really cool because we're doing the early one. Early. Nobody's even on this. Rogers is taking 4-1 Lightning. By the way, if anybody else is in the chat and you want to put a prediction in for who's going to win and who's going to score first. Oh, JP takes point. Finally, we got a point. Last time we had like 3 people taking point. You're the first one. Devondra takes Martin from the Islanders. Wow. Montreal Canadiens did win last night, and that was absolutely incredible. I did not see that coming. Yeah, it makes sense. Well, thanks, Austin. I like seeing it grow, too, because it's more fun when there's more people. The more people, the more fun. Devondra said Habs 2-1. You already said that, Devondra? I'm sorry. I don't think I got you here. Oh, you said Habs 2-1 in the last game. Yeah. Yes, you did. You were one of the few people that had the Habs yesterday. Doggy time. It is doggy time. I don't want to leave because we got so many people and everybody's. Don't leave now. You stick around for this next fine programming. Also, this is a sponsor. And the more people that watch it and the more people that go check this out, and you should anyways because it's freaking amazing. This is like an awesome place. If you got a dog, you got to check it out. If you're ever in the PA area, go check this out, man. It's fantastic. I'm going to grab a coffee. I'll be back in about 3 minutes, and we'll be doing we'll take a team, player that's going to break out from each team. I'll spit it out here. I will. I'll do it. Okay, see you in a bit.
Greetings. This is Steel Flyers from the Steel Flyers All Sports Network, and we have 2 very special guests. We are delighted to be joined by Tracy Musser and Nicole Howard from the Canine Country Club Resorts. Tracy and Nicole are both managers for CCC Resorts and work at the Windsor or at the club, one of 2 locations, both in Manheim, Pennsylvania. Congratulations on your 30th year anniversary of being in business. Let me start off by saying this. Steel Flyer stands behind this company 100%. Taken care of Steel Flyer's furry friend for the last 2 years now, and they are a one-stop shop for everything your furry friend needs. In fact, let's find out what our friends at CCC Resorts offer. Nicole, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. What are some of the great boarding services that you guys offer, and what do we have to do in order to get our furry friends taken care of when we are unable to travel with them?
Well, we like to bring everybody in for a tour first. That way they can see the behind the scenes, they can see where they stay, they can see where they play, and then we explain all of the fun things that we can add on to their reservation, whether it be one of our packages, either a nature walk, a ball time, or even a cuddle time.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. Boy, it sure sounds like a resort to me. So, how are you today, Tracy?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Tracy, tell me, is it true that you guys have both an indoor and an outdoor pool at the Windsor location?
It is true. We've got one of each, so we're able to offer year-round swimming. The indoor pool is a great option for dogs who are swimming for therapy or rehab. It's got that sloped entry so they can wade into the water. Our outdoor pool is a little bit larger and it's 4 foot deep the whole way across. And both of them are saltwater pools, so it's really easy on the dog's skin and coat.
Wow, that's very awesome. So then during the summer months, you have a much deeper pool outside and then a sloped entry shallow pool indoors for the dogs. Tracy, tell the folks how we can get some pool time.
Well, the first thing everyone does is come for an intro swim. We use that time to make sure the dog is comfortable in the water. We make sure they know how to get out of the pool safely, and we go over all the pool rules and etiquette with the clients as well. After that, they're able to schedule private appointments where they have the pool to themselves, or they can invite friends and have a whole group swim going on.
So after a dip in the pool, then it would have to be off to the groomers, right? I mean, our furry friends cannot go out looking their best. Nicole, what are some of the great services your top notch groomers provide?
Our groomers, they specialize in full service grooms. We can do the basics, whether it be just a bath and a brush out or a blowout. Or for the extra pampered pooches, we can do nail dremels, we can do deodorizing soaks, and also facials.
Wow, man, that sounds like a resort if you ask me. Tracy, I know one of the main programs here at CCC Resorts is the WAGS program. The Steel Flyers dog is enrolled in this program. So why don't you tell the folks what is involved in this and how they can get enrolled?
Yeah, the WAGS program is our primary daycare option at the Windsor. It's designed to be a structured program for people who are looking for a set routine for their dog. They all come on the same days each week, which allows them to have set friends, and we know exactly what's going on with each group. So we do a little bit more activities and we build more into their daily routine there. But we've got other daycare options as well for people looking for a little less commitment. We do an hourly care where you can drop them off and just pay by the hour. We also do a day stay option, which is great for the dogs that prefer human friends instead of making friends with other dogs. And then we have a traditional daycare option as well if you're looking for the occasional outing for your dog.
Wow, there you have it. A full service groomer, a daycare program, and an indoor and outdoor pool. What more could you ask for? Sure seems like CCC Resorts has everything covered. Remember, DOG, depend on God.
Yeah, we're back. All right, cool. Hope you all enjoyed that fine programming. I'm going to move me over here. I'm going to make me look small. I'm going to get this dude over here like this. And we're going to get the window source cup. And we are going to do the breakout players for the year for each team. Who the breakout players for each team are going to be. We're going to start. We're going to start from the bottom. Oh, the Seattle Kraken already have one in there. Okay. We're going to start with the Detroit Red Wings. Let's see if you guys can see all that. Okay. I don't know if I make it so you guys can see all this. I wonder if you'll be able to see it. Okay, here we go. I'll just put the team up there. You guys can look as well. And I'll get you up on here. All right. Everybody back? Okay, I got to get my trusty book up here. And we are going to do breakout players. What was yesterday? 22nd, 23rd, 21. Breakout players. Red Wings. Boom. We got, okay. Oh, Lauren goes with Zadina. That's a good one. Zadina would be a very good one. Hey, thanks, Austin Rogers. Breakout players. Oh my gosh. NHL news reports. Let's look at Dennis Cholowski. Hockey news reports goes with Cholowski. We'll talk about Cholowski a bit. He is 23 now. They've been grooming him for a while. He played 52 games like in 2018. Struggled defensively. Last year he only played 16 games. He's probably going to get more of an opportunity next year for sure, I would think. So yeah, that's a good one too. I really like Zadina. Who said Larkin? Somebody said Larkin. Bernier improves for Detroit? I don't know how Bernier can improve. My gosh, if Bernier improves, he could win a Vezina. Weichel is saying that, is that really a breakout though? Weichel's saying Larkin. So you think, let's bring out Larkin here. We'll take a look at it. Dylan Larkin had a bad year last year. It's hard to put up points there though. He had 73 points in 2018-19. Are you thinking that he's going to go back to being a point-a-game player, or is he going to even do more than that? You did. Okay, you took Larkin. Do you think he's going to be back to a point-a-game player, or is he going to be more than that? Tyler Bertuzzi, yeah, that's one. Hockey News Reports put him in. He was injured all last year. But I think my personal one is Zadina. I think Zadina looked really good last year, considering he was on, it was a pretty poor team. He had 19 points in 49 games. He's just been kind of creeping along. Another guy you could put in here is Vrana. What about Vrana? Vrana could have a huge breakout year next year because he's always played lower in the lineup. For Jacob Vrana is only 25. That's my guy. Pearlo, I'm going to go with Jacob Vrana. I think he could have a point a game next year. But there's lots of guys on Detroit here that could do it. Jacob Vrana, his highest point season was 52 in 69 games in 2019. He had 8 goals for the Detroit Red Wings in 11 games. So I think Jacob Vrana is my guy. So we'll see who actually gets it right next year, because I've got this marked and address. I've got the date and everything set here. So we'll see who gets it right. Okay. Let's go. Cholowski's a good one, but there's Michael Rasmussen. Evgeny Svechnikov finally had a decent year. There's lots of guys on Tampa Bay that can make the big step next year. For sure. Next one. We're going New Jersey Devils. There's a lot on New Jersey. I'll let you guys pick. I already have mine in my head, but I think you guys will probably pick them right away. New Jersey Devils. Who's the breakout player for the New Jersey Devils? If you're using my thing, I'll move them up and down here. Jack Hughes would have to be the first one, wouldn't they? Lauren. Hughes. Makes total sense. He's getting better and better every year. He's still only... Jack Hughes is still only 20 years old. You know, ooh, look at Hockey News reports going off with the Merkley, Nick Merkley. Wow, that would be a huge year for Nick Merkley. Miles Wood. Wood is definitely progressing. Who was that? Mercer took Miles Wood. Merkley, if people know, was traded in the Hall trade, kind of as a throw-in. He was a top pick though. He was like a late first-round pick, and he ended up playing, getting in the lineup last year. Siegenthaler, I love that pickup from Washington when they got Siegenthaler for sure. Yeah, but Miles Wood is a good pick. Miles Wood, he's a restricted free agent this year. He's a big boy, 6'2". He's from Buffalo, by the way. And he had 23 points in 68 games, kind of regressed point-wise. But he could very well be up. 25 points in 55 games. He had 17 goals, too. So that means, he's looking like a 25. That's a good pick. That's a very good pick. I bet you he does have. I really like Miles Wood, too. I like the way he plays. I like his game. John Weichel takes McLeod. Nice pick, my friend. McLeod really got going in a limited role last year. Another late first-round pick by the New Jersey Devils. Do they even have him as on the regular roster here, or is he in the prospect? Geez, where the heck do they even have McLeod? Let me check the depth chart. He was playing on the regular... here he is. Michael McLeod. Nice pickup. Good skater. Is working on getting some offense going. Finally did get some offense going last year. You never know. He could totally break out. I'm not sure about his offensive upside, but he did finally put up some points last year. So, at the very least, he looks like he's going to be a regular. Yeah, Bastian looks really good. Okay, so we got a couple picks in there for that. Did I put one in here? I didn't even put one in here yet. And, okay. I think he might have had his breakout year last year. But I'm going to go with Zaka. I really like Pearlo. I really like what Zaka has done for New Jersey. He's taken his time. He's 24 years old. They were almost on the side of thinking that maybe he was not going to ever really become the guy that they thought he was. And then last year, he started really looking good. Pavel, I could see Zaka really having a breakout year last year. Very underrated guy. Yeah, absolutely, Austin Rogers. No doubt about it. I see. That's what I like about you guys, man. We got some just crazy knowledgeable people in our chat, and that's what I love doing. That's why I like doing this. This is what I love to do. I love looking at things like this. Okay. No, it's not the Rangers. The Rangers are later. The Buffalo Sabres. Is there going to be a breakout player for the Buffalo Sabres? Are the Sabres going to be somewhat decent next year? Can they turn it around? Who is going to be the breakout player for the Buffalo Sabres? There could be breakout players that they're going to get yet. Dylan Cousins was my pick, sir. Dylan Cousins is a very good pick. Skinner. Mercer's dropping the Skinner. Skinner's going to have a breakout year, which I don't know how, wow, what would that mean? Like, if he had 15 goals and played a regular shift, that would be a breakout year. Hockey News Reports is going with Asplund, who is not really the most offensive guy in the world, but he plays his butt off. For sure, no doubt about it. Now, the big question, of course, with Buffalo is who's even going to be playing in Buffalo next year. Kind of hard to take a breakout player when you're not even sure. Reeder? You're taking Reeder? Austin Rogers? I'm going to say Dahlin. I mean, I don't think Dahlin has played terrible. Oh, nice one, Weichel. Weichel picks. That's a nice one, buddy. Matthias Samuelsson. Samuelsson played fantastic in the second half. Just nobody saw that coming with Matthias Samuelsson. That is a freaking awesome one, dude. Well done, sir. Well done. Do they have him as a prospect? Or another one would be Arttu Ruotsalainen, but Matthias Samuelsson on defense played absolutely fantastic in the second half. I think that's a nice pick. Yoki Haru, did you already put one in? Yeah, Yoki Haru. Okay, that's a couple there. We're going to go to our next one. Our next team, where we're looking at the breakout player for next year. The next team is the Arizona Coyote. Could we just skip over that? Arizona, because they're going to have a whole new team next year. But we'll do it anyways. They're going to have a whole new team. Half the people are not even going to have. Yeah, Reeder, I mean, they've been talking about Reeder having a breakout season every time he got drafted. Aiden Hill. Okay. So, Hockey News Reports says Aiden Hill in net has a breakout year. You could almost say this year was a breakout year for Aiden Hill. Lauren says Garland. So Garland had kind of a breakout year last year. Garland had 39 points in 49 games. So you think Garland's going to even do better than he did last year. So that would be almost like a point-a-game player in an 82-game schedule. That'd be pretty cool. Skip, yeah. Dvorak, yeah, you could almost make a case that last year was a breakout year for Dvorak too. But, I mean, it's hard to pick. So he's 25. So far, his best year was 38 points in 70 games, but his points per game last year was pretty good. He's an underrated two-way player. Who was that? Mercer that said that? Dvorak. And Weichel says Fisher. Now, they've been waiting for Fisher for a long time. It would be great for him to have a breakout year because right now it looks like he's heading to a fourth liner. Garland will be traded? You think Garland will be traded? All right, we'll get off Arizona here. I'm going to say, like, you can't say Chychrun because he already had his breakout year. Who am I going to say? I kind of agree with everybody here. Lawson Krause, maybe? Nah, whatever. Let's get on to another team because that team's going to be totally different next year. Boston Bruins. Now, this is a more interesting one. Who's going to be the Boston Bruins breakout player next year? That's going to be interesting because they're going to look pretty new as well. I got to take a quick look at our live stream and see how much time we've had here. Okay, 21 minutes. Mercer says Corrali. You think Corrali's going to come up with some offense next year? That would be huge if they did. Corrali's kind of like pigeonholed. He's 28 years old. He's a UFA. Are they even going to really sign him? He had 23 points. He had a poor... He was playing more on the fourth line. I mean, it would be huge if he did. And that could still be a breakout year because you could do it on a different team. Maybe Corrali goes to like Seattle or Arizona or something like that. I don't think they're going to trade Christian Dvorak. He's on a good contract. He's a guy they can build around. I don't think they're going to trade Dvorak. I don't think they're going to trade Dvorak, and I don't think they're going to trade Chychrun. The rest, maybe. But those guys, I think. So Boston Bruins, breakout players. What do we have? Curtis Lazar. Lawrence going with, because that could be. Because they could give Lazar more opportunity next year at 26 years old to get some offense if they can't find offense out there. So that's not a bad one, too. You can make a case that Nick Ritchie kind of had his breakout year last year. I'm going to go off the board here a little bit. Wow, breakout year. They're really tough because there's nobody really to break out. I think we got her all. I mean, who's going to break out? And that's kind of the problem with Boston. There is nobody to break out. Rogers takes Ritchie. Yeah, that's about all there is. And I think that's the problem with Boston is there's nobody in their organization that can really be a breakout player. Just about everybody is what they are. Trent Frederick, you think Frederick will get some more offense going? That makes some sense, I guess, yeah. I'm going to say maybe Grzelcyk puts up his best offensive season. Grzelcyk puts up his best offensive season. I'm going to say that. Okay, let's get to the next one. The Carolina Hurricane. And we got Lauren here. I know who I want already, but Lauren's going to pick him right away. Lauren's going to pick him right away. I know he is. Before it even gets started, Lauren's going to... The Carolina Hurricane is the next one. They got a ton of players that could have a breakout year. You can make a case that they've all kind of had their breakout years, though. He's going to say Jarvis, which means he's going to be like Rookie of the Year. Lauren, Jarvis is it was a seventh pick overall. When did they get Jarvis? Was it 11th overall or something like that? Weichel has Carlo. Ooh, Mercer has Fast. I wonder, though, if Fast might end up going to Seattle next year. That's about the only thing I could think about that, though, is possibly not working out, is if he goes to Seattle next year. Because I'm pretty sure they're going to leave him off the protection list. He's only 29. He's making $2 million. Scroll down. You got one? Chychrun is the best player on the Coyotes now. He could win the Norris Trophy if he was ever on a team that could make... You think Nedeljkovic is going to even be better? Rogers thinks that Nedeljkovic is even going to be better than he was this year. He was 13th overall. Okay. I mean, there's lots of guys here, but my guy for sure, I still think, I thought you were going to take this. I'm taking Necas. I think Necas is a point-a-game player. Jake Gardner. Brock McGinn probably won't be. That's not a bad pick. Because Brock McGinn might get an opportunity to also be on Seattle next year and really get his first real chance to put up some offense. He's still only 27 years old. I really could see, if I'm Brock McGinn, I'm looking to Seattle, because I think that Seattle would be perfect for him. Yeah, I'm just saying that I even think Necas. I think Hockey News, or I think Lauren would disagree with you on Fogel. I think Necas can go even higher. I think he's going to have an amazing year next year. You could actually say that Svechnikov could have even a bigger breakout next year too, right? That could still be considered a breakout, I guess. How about Jake Bean? You could put him in there. Anyways, everybody has their picks in. Weichel took Lorentz. No, you already took McGinn, so okay, you already got that. Fogel has stone hands. Yeah, I agree. He's got a lot of speed, but once he gets into around the net, he can't do very much. Okay, we'll do one more for the video, and then we'll continue on together. So all of you people out there that do, this is my show. This is what we do here at Pearls of Wisdom Ministries. We have this live interactive show where we do stuff like this. We pick out who's going to be the breakout player next year, or who's going to be, what free agent's going to go where, with big trades, all of that kind of stuff like that. So come in anytime, 3 to 5 on the Pearl of Wisdom channel, and you're going to have a lot of fun doing it. I can tell you that right now. Here, the frolic will be endless. We're going to do one more here, and it'll be a big one, because there's a million breakouts for this team. The Ottawa Senators. The Ottawa Senators breakout player next year. I mean, you could go on and on here for the Ottawa Senators. List them off. I'm sure there'll be tons of them out there. I mean, pick away. They have guys you could already say broke out, but I mean, most of them are young enough to still have greater seasons yet. Hockey News Reports takes Batherson. Nice one. Batherson had his first full season last year. Put out some pretty decent numbers. 34 points in 56 games. Probably you could call that a breakout at itself, but I think he could even do better than that next year for sure. No doubt about it. Hockey News reports already did Batherson. Mercer's going with Batherson too. I'm going to put it out there right now. I'm going to say Stützle. I'm going to take the cheesy one. I'm going to take Stützle. Stützle's probably going to have a fantastic year at 20 years old next year on an 82-game schedule. Shane Pinto, nice one. Nice. Did really well coming out of college right off the get-go. I don't know how many points he had. 7 points in 12 games. Not too shabby of a start in the NHL. Nice pick, buddy. Nice pick. Shane Pinto looks like a good one for sure. That's all we got. I mean, geez, we could say Colin White could have a reversal. You could say Joshua Norris could even have a better year, although last year could have been his breakout year. You could even say Shabbat could still do better yet. How about Jacob Bernard Docker? Eric Brandstrom could have a great year. He's only 21 years old. So Lauren says Josh Norris. Lauren says Norris. Okay, let me get the time here. All right, that's our video for today, and then we're going to continue doing this. Or we could go do something else for a bit and keep on doing this for videos. Whatever. 131.56. That's our videos. Okay, bye for all you video people. Do you guys want to keep on doing this, or you want to talk about some other stuff? Because we're losing some people here. You want to keep doing this? Okay, well, we'll keep doing this then. What the heck? Next team. Colorado Avalanche. Wow, that should be on a video. The Colorado Avalanche. You want to talk about tonight's game? Okay, well, you know what? We'll come back to this because I want this on the video. So we'll keep on making videos like this. And then we'll do this again tomorrow. Remind me, we'll start at the Colorado Avalanche. And then we'll talk about tonight's game. This is fun, so we'll do this tomorrow. Jost is a good one, but we'll do this tomorrow. Okay, what do you want to talk about tonight's game, though? We talked about a lot about tonight's game already. We can talk about some interesting things. I'm going to change the title of the stream now again. Okay, we'll talk about tonight's game, and we'll talk about who's getting traded this offseason. That's a good one. Goudreau. Gaudreau is probably getting traded. So, yeah, let's talk about that. We'll talk about the game, and we'll talk about who's getting traded in the offseason. Save. I got to turn my windows off because that's going to be annoying. Window capture. Okay. Kucherov is going to get traded in the offseason. I think Eichel goes to LA. Now that you mentioned that, the talk is that Eichel is going, that Calgary's putting in a bid for Eichel. And they're offering Gaudreau, Jari, not Jari, Zari, Connor Zari, their first-round draft pick from last year, their first-round draft pick this year, and Valimaki. They're offering that. Matthew Tkachuk. Now, Matthew Tkachuk, I think, has kind of made it clear that he wants to play for the Blues. So when does Matthew Tkachuk... That's not too bad, yeah. Connor Zari, Gaudreau, Valimaki, and their first this year. So that would make sense. So now if Calgary were to do that, I wanted to look at Tkachuk's contract. See, there's not much Tkachuk can do about it right now. They can keep on. I don't think there's much. He's only 23 years old. So he doesn't have any leverage at all right now. Where the heck is his contract? 21-22. His contract is up. He's a restricted free agent. Geez, Calgary's paid him pretty well already. He's getting $9 million this year. Apparently, he wants out. He wants to go to St. Louis. So now he's got 4 years before he becomes an unrestricted free agent. Let me change that title again. He's got 4 years before he's an unrestricted free agent. So if he's made it clear that he wants to go to St. Louis already, almost like what Panarin did, I am in Edmonton. Calgary is a strange place. I'm sorry. I'm in Edmonton, and I've gone there, and the people are a little different in Calgary. Apparently, he wants to go to St. Louis. If you remember, Panarin told Chicago back in the day that he wanted to go to the Rangers. He wasn't re-signing with anybody. He wanted to play for the New York Rangers, and that was it, period. That was the way it was going to be. So this could be what Tkachuk has done with Calgary. Now, we don't know. Nobody's actually come out and said this. But who was it? There was somebody a very big name in hockey came out and said that that was the case, that knows Calgary well. I'm really surprised he came out and said that. But, yeah, that's just... The Sedins took less money for Vancouver, so they always promised them they'd give them a title and a job later on in their career. And a lot of teams are doing this. They say, take less money, and then when you retire, stay with us. We'll give you a title we'll give you a title and a paycheck, right? So I spelled Tkachuk wrong in my title. So if he's told Calgary, I want to go to St. Louis, as soon as I'm an unrestricted free agent, I'm signing with St. Louis. So I'm only going to sign with you until I'm an unrestricted free agent, and then I'm out of here, right? Now, if he's making this, everybody aware of this, my pick for tonight's game was 3-2 Tampa Bay, and the goal scorer was going to be Palat. So if he's made Calgary aware of this, they got to be looking at it like, well, if we're going to trade him, we better trade him now, because, you know, the longer they keep him, the less his value. So now St. Louis is sitting there saying, well, we're going to get Tkachuk somewhere along the line here. We're going to get Matthew Tkachuk. Now the next question, of course, is what about Brady Tkachuk? What's he going to do in Ottawa? Is Brady Tkachuk going to bolt on Ottawa like Matthew Tkachuk is already saying about Calgary? That would be sick. And it's possible. Like, what do you do then? So what does Calgary do now? Tkachuk is 23. He's got, 4 more years. He's going to be 24 this year. So he's got 3 more years before he's a free agent. So almost like what Chicago did with Panarin, they traded him to Columbus and they didn't get much back. They got Saad and a prospect or something like that. They didn't get much back. More than likely, if Calgary were to trade Tkachuk right now, and everybody knows he wants to go to St. Louis, their return's not going to look too good. But that being said, if they can find a team, the thing about Tkachuk is he's got the type of talent that can get you a cup. So let's look at that for a second. Geez, this would have been great to put in a video as well, but that's okay. What team would take Tkachuk and then not care? They would take Tkachuk now. They got to sign him, and then they won't care that he's going to St. Louis. First of all, there's a possibility of trading him to St. Louis. If they were trading him to St. Louis has a ton of leverage. So they have a ton of leverage. So if they trade him to St. Louis, what are they going to get? You might get like Zach Sanford. They're not going to want. What's that? What's their $17 million in cap space? They don't have to sign Bozak. They do have to sign Jaden Schwartz, Jordan Kyrou. They could fit him in right. Oh, Robert Thomas. They got quite a few players to sign themselves. But I think you get like Jordan Kyrou, who is like meh. He's okay. He looks like he's progressing pretty well. They don't really need him there. I would go Jordan Kyrou, Zachary Sanford. So you just got a tough team. Zach Sanford. Go with get depth. Get a whole bunch of depth. There's been talk that Vladimir Tarasenko was in the package. But the problem with that, of course, is Tarasenko has been injured like crazy. So maybe they go with Tarasenko. Since he doesn't have all that much value right now, you could get like Tarasenko, Jordan Kyrou, and then there was talk about Colton Parayko. Kyrou, Sanford, and a first? Yeah, that's not very much for a guy like Tkachuk, but yeah, that might be what you're looking at. Louis Eriksson, yeah. I mean, if they want him right now, I would make him pay for it. Fine, I'll trade him somewhere else. Screw you. I don't even care if I get less from somebody else. I'll trade him to someone else just because you're not willing to cooperate a little bit with us here and give us a decent package. So, what do you guys think about Vladimir Tarasenko? You want to take a chance on that guy? He's getting $7.5 million for the next 2 years. He was just injured. He doesn't have all that much value, but they're going to need a goal scorer. And remember, we just did a deal where they did a package with to get Eichel. So if Tarasenko could stay healthy and you've got Eichel on his up the middle, you got a whole new Calgary Flames team here. And just pray to God that he doesn't get injured again. There was something about his shoulder. And the thing is, St. Louis didn't seem too happy with him about something about the shoulder. Whether I don't know, did he work hard enough to recuperate? Did they think he could have come back sooner and he didn't? What was it? But somehow the St. Louis Blues have soured on Tarasenko. Maybe it's just because they're worried about the injury to begin with. Now, yeah, okay, but if the Leafs trade for Matthew Tkachuk, you got to realize then that he's going to be gone in 3 years. And they got to sign him to a contract, which means they probably got to trade somebody else away to take him. But I agree, that would make sense for the Leafs to have a player like that. I mean, having a Matthew Tkachuk on your team is huge. The value to it is enormous. Even if it's just going to be for 3 years and you know he's gone as an unrestricted free agent. The problem is you better win a cup in those 3 years because you're not going to get anything back for him after you traded for him. By the way, the Edmonton Oilers had their hands on a Matthew Tkachuk jersey when he was drafted before the Columbus Blue Jackets decided to take Dubois instead of Puljujarvi. When they took Dubois instead of Puljujarvi, they grabbed the Puljujarvi jersey. They could have Matthew Tkachuk right now. That would have been unreal. Imagine Matthew Tkachuk on the Oilers right now. The Sens trade for him. Okay, let's say the Sens do trade for Matthew Tkachuk. But then, again, if Matthew Tkachuk wants to play for St. Louis, doesn't Brady Tkachuk want to play for St. Louis? What if they lost both Tkachuks? What if Brady Tkachuk comes out and says, as soon as I'm a free agent, I'm heading to St. Louis too? And you know why they want to play with St. Louis, right? Because his father played for St. Louis. Their father played for St. Louis. They're from St. Louis. It's their hometown and all of that stuff like that. So, I mean, it would be great to have them for the next 3 years, but you better win a cup in those 3 years because, see, Brady Tkachuk is 21, so he's a ways away yet from making a decision like that. It's not essential, but if they want to do it, they can do it. It probably would be a bust. It's not essential, but I mean, we're going on speculation right now that this is true. Okay, let me look up who it was that said this. It's not a person that normally talks like this. Matthew Tkachuk. Matthew Tkachuk. Let me look it up if it comes up. Top stories. Matthew Tkachuk. This is on Yahoo. Matthew Tkachuk may want... It's Steve Kouleas from Sirius Radio, former NHL defenseman and current Sportsnet 650 radio analysis. Shane O'Brien joined Kouleas and shared some insight on the Calgary Flames. Tkachuk floating his name for St. Louis forward Tarasenko. I think Tarasenko's time is up, O'Brien says, and I think so too. I got a little rumor, I guess, here. And for Dwayne, I got Tarasenko going to Calgary for Tkachuk. I heard Tkachuk wants out of Calgary. Tarasenko's time is up there. I think that trade could happen. Shane O'Brien said that on Sirius Radio. Then Coolius asked O'Brien to elaborate on what he's heard about Tkachuk. And it says, I'm hearing more on that end, on the end that Tkachuk wants to play in St. Louis, his hometown. I just think the time is a change for Calgary. I just think the time is it for a change in Calgary. Is it going to happen? I don't know. But I just heard some rumblings that it could be a Tkachuk for Tarasenko thing, and that's in silly season, as you would call it. So Shane O'Brien, I listen to Sirius Radio all the time. I've never heard Shane O'Brien come out with something like this. Like, he doesn't usually talk about players going to certain places and I heards and rumors like that. So it doesn't mean it is the truth, but I'll tell you what right now, nobody in Calgary came out and said Tkachuk's not going anywhere. Nobody in Calgary came out and said that. Lindholm, the last man standing in Calgary after this. Absolutely. So, I mean, at this point, if you're going to have to trade Tkachuk, and St. Louis is willing to give you an offer like Tarasenko, I would want plus, because Tarasenko's an injury issue. He was injured. He's had 2 shoulder surgeries now. Tarasenko, he has 2 years left on a $7 million contract. So you'd have to get more than Tarasenko. You'd have to. Otherwise, I'm going somewhere else. You know, I go to St. Louis. Look, I know Matthew wants to go with you guys and all of that, but you got to make it worth our while, because we got to do what's best for our organization. They know that. You got to do it. So if Tarasenko is part of the deal, I want Sanford and something else or whatever on top of it, you know, because you're taking, and then I guess if Tarasenko still is not good after 2 years, then you can send him somewhere else. If they get both brothers, they go back-to-back Stanley Cups. I mean, they definitely are an amazing team. That would be absolutely sick, having both brothers. Is Brady a left winger too? Are they both lefties? Yeah, they're both left wingers. So I think, does Brady play the right? I'm almost positive he plays left wing. Yeah, he plays left wing. So both Matthew and him, but Matthew has played right. So anyways, I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions over to Brady now. You know, like, what are you thinking? And all that kind of stuff like that. Oh, yeah, that wouldn't happen. I still wouldn't trade McDavid for both Tkachuk brothers, but yeah, Ottawa's got to be kind of wondering now, if this does happen, Ottawa's got to be sitting there going, well, what's going to happen here now? You know, like, what are we going to do? That's a stumbling block. They got to hope that, you know, yeah, I think Calgary's going to trade. I think Goudreau's gone. And I think that Goudreau-Calgary package for Eichel makes a lot of sense. Eichel would be, and then they'll add free, what they'll do is they'll get Eichel, they'll clear off all their cap room except for Lindholm, and they'll just add free agents to build around Eichel. Calgary won't do a complete rebuild. Ottawa won't know what hit them, yeah. It would be devastating for that organization to lose that. Oh, I should have made myself big again, by the way. Why did I leave myself all small? There we go. I keep on leaving myself small. Yeah, right. I don't think so. I don't think so. Askarov tank going nowhere. Talking about that, take the Swedish kid this year. Anybody that can get that Swedish kid. Man, the goaltenders that have been coming out lately have been insane. But those are good. Like, you look to Calgary to a whole bunch of Giordano is probably going to be traded this year. Giordano is probably going to be traded this year. So Giordano pretty much almost said already that he sees himself being traded this year. They're going to be changing everything in Calgary. It's almost easier to look at who's going to stay than who's going to go. Like, Lucic will stay because nobody's taking that contract. Mangiapane, they love him. He wants to stay there. He'll stay. But besides that, Dylan Dubé, they'll probably sign him up. I could see Noah Hannafin being out. They love Rasmus Anderson. He'll stay. Giordano's gone. Giordano is good as gone. He's making too much money, though, buddy. Unless they retain salary, maybe he could go to the Leafs. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, Lucic would become the captain. That's not a good thing. If your captain is Lucic, there might be a problem. Markstrom will stay, of course. Like, Markstrom's got to be crying right now. Like, what happened? There was all these people here, and now they're all gone. Christopher Tanev will probably stay. They liked him. They signed him for $4.5 million. And then they'll just sign a whole bunch of free agents that want to play in Calgary. I mean, and, probably go after guys like Tatar. They'll try to... I could really see that Eichel trade happening for Calgary. And they'll just tell Eichel, don't worry, we're not rebuilding. We've got Elias Lindholm here, Michael Backlund. We've got... and Sean Monahan's gone. Sean Monahan will be gone. Yeah, Lucic is not very good. I don't like Lucic at all. I have to agree with you for sure there. I'm thinking that's another fun thing we can do from now on is just pick each team and talk about what's going to happen in the future with them. But Calgary is going to be an amazing... It's going to be It's going to be interesting this year to see what Calgary does with their lineup. It's going to be a huge changeover, but I could see that Eichel trade happening. The only thing is, I just see if LA wants him more, LA will get him. And if Anaheim wants him more, Anaheim will probably get him too. I just think they have the better draft picks. Hannafin wants to be a Bruin, yeah, but do the Bruins want Hannafin to be a Bruin? That's a question. Maybe. Just give, I don't know what they would give up for him. Like DeBrusk? Take Jake DeBrusk for Hannafin? DeBrusk seems to have worn out his welcome there, so possibly. The Thrasher Flames. Edvinsson, no. I would take Eklund first overall. I really think I would take Eklund first overall. Oh, they can have him. He's played terrible. I don't see a spot for the Leafs on Monahan. Monahan will go somewhere, though. Maybe the Columbus Blue Jackets. I could see that. They have no centers there. You're back, and I got to go, Jeff. I got to go. I'm already over my time here. Thanks for coming in. Tell your friends. You know what? I think we do the best when we just roll and talk about hockey, right? I think that's what we do the best, when we just roll and talk about hockey. So tomorrow, what we're going to do, I'm going to continue on this series about who's going to get traded next year. I really like that series. That was fun. I'm all over the place, as you can tell. I'm just looking for what everybody seems to like. Everybody seems to like talking about who's going to be traded next year. And all I want to do is what everybody likes, because I can talk about hockey all day long. So we'll do that. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk. We'll talk about the games, and we're just going to talk about what, just teams. We're just going to roll with this great conversation that we have all the time here. You guys are awesome. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Yes, Thursday. We will be talking maybe a lot because we should have Peyton on the radio on tomorrow. And we'll be talking lots. I'll try to get Peyton to make sure that we get you guys in the chat too. You guys like Peyton on the radio? You want Peyton on the radio on? Give me a thumbs up on that, boys and girls. Peyton on the radio tomorrow. We're good, right? Woo! Awesome. Talk to you tomorrow. You guys are amazing. Have a great one. Okay. Bye.